You got a chance now to scout Alabama. What do you think of them?
I think they're a really good club that that's gotten older. You could see when all these kids were freshmen. The two middle infielders, Salem and center. All these guys when they're young, they're really good players, but you just knew they needed some experience. They've got some experience, and they're good. They're very athletic. They can defend the field. They got some guys in the middle of their order who can really hit, and they got power arm on the front end. They got the left-hander who has great pitchability in the middle. So they're a good club. They, like everybody else, they played some close games. They probably haven't won as many as they wanted to recently, but they've been playing very, very good teams. And a lot of your success can be wrapped around who you're playing and when you're playing. They played a Florida club that was on fire. They won 11 in a row, and then they go to LSU and play really well there. They don't play the third game. So it's a very, very good team. It's going to be a great challenge for us.
John, when you move Ross to the rotation at the start of SEC play, how big of a factor is the emergence of Lucas Laster and have that second lefty with Jacob in the matchup situation?
It's just been huge, and the real commonality with all this is in the fall we have somebody that doesn't have a very good ball, and Butch Thompson stays with him, and they end up being pretty daggum good, and that's Lucas Lassiter. And Lucas has just been phenomenal. Just watching him on film, our whole staff watched every pitch that he threw on Sunday, and the quality of his pitches is really good. Even more so than just the velocity, the spin, the rotation of his breaking ball, the way he shaped his pitches. We have a saying, and that's the hitter will tell you everything you need to know about the quality of your pitches. And he got some pretty bad swings at a time when we needed him to. So he's really proud of the progress he's made.
When did you realize that he made that turn this season? Because I know that you said that he really improved.
I think the big moment was Butch had every time we had a meeting, he said, "Hey, we need to get Laster in the game. Like, we need to get him going." And I just kept saying, the guy in the fall who couldn't get anybody out, that guy, you want? He's like, yeah, he's done some things in the pen, and he's lowered his slot, and let's do some things there. And I think when at LSU, we had a Sunday where we did not play very well, and I thought he was very good. I thought he was kind of the one shining guy out of our bullpen on that day, and so when you got that opportunity, you move on to the next one, and then he has a couple of midweeks that are really good. One of them's Ole Miss. I thought he pitched very well. He hit 4 or 5 guys against Ole Miss, but he's trying to get to the inner half, and he's really driving the baseball on the inner half. So, I think Lucas has just really turned the corner, and I think he's a much more confident young man right now.
Is it intentional or unintentional to pair him with Ross, and let him kind of see how this works and develop that way, and now you're getting what you're getting out of him now?
Yeah, the thing that's different is, for whatever reason, there are very few teams in our league that hit lefties as well as they do right-handers statistically. Alabama overall, a little bit better versus right-handers, a little bit. But in the league, they're a little bit, they're not as good against left-handers in the league. Overall, they're better against left-handers, but in our league, there's something about the left-hander and the success that they've had.
I just meant as a throwing partner in practice.
Yeah,
letting him watch
absolutely.
How to do this.
Yeah, I think anytime you have older kids who have success, it helps the program. It becomes these coachable moments when coaches aren't around. That's how you turn around a program. That's how a program starts to take off, is having those guys. Many of those guys are on the wall of this room. When I played at Mississippi State, every one of us wanted to be Rafael Palmeiro, Will Clark. And those guys were visible. They were there. You could see them. So those people are really important. And when you have a guy who went 13-0 last year, and you're left-handed, you say, man, I kind of want to be like this guy. And certainly, that's what the Ross Mitchells do for you.
Can you talk about the work that Jacob's been able to do out of the bullpen? He's been named to a couple watch lists and the Ferris Trophy finalist. Can you just talk about his improvement from starter to really?
It's fun to watch him from the dugout. Our kids just have this overwhelming feeling that we're going to win the game when he's in there, and they get fired up because, he can get swing and miss and punch people out, and he can throw up a 95 up on the scoreboard there. But what's really fun is the next day when you get to watch it on film from behind home plate, because his stuff's electric. in 23 years, I haven't seen a breaking ball in my dugout or in the other team's dugout quite like this, and I've seen some great ones. David Price is one of the best I've ever seen. Different type of breaking ball. But I mean, this guy's got big league stuff, and it's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch how confident he is. At any point in time, you know what, command or not having a good day, everybody can have a bad day, but his body of work this year overall is pretty special. And, you know, what he's done for us is been pretty neat.
Another shorted week, but again, you know, Trevor didn't throw a lot of pitches Friday night, so he should be okay for Thursday.
Yeah, I in a perfect world, I would love to be able to keep those guys on Friday, Saturday, and just come up with a starter for Thursday. And that's not out of the realm of possibility. We're still going to work on that. But, you know, to move those two guys up, I'm just not crazy about that. I want to keep them in the same spot. But, you know, the one thing about Ross that we love is we feel like he helps the starter the next day, you know, and if you put him on the tail end of this thing, then he doesn't have a guy behind him. So we'll wait and see. I think it's so much easier after you watch him play up close and personal one day. But, you know, we'll start with Trevor, we think, unless it changes in the next couple of hours, and see where it goes from there.
But you have more options, obviously, because now you have a Lucas and you have a Vance Tatum.
Right. See, Lucas is the guy you'd love to be able to start on the Thursday and keep the other two guys in line with where they are, but you can't do that to him because he threw so many pitches on Sunday. So even to bring him back on Saturday, you know, it's kind of shorting him a little bit. So, yeah, that certainly helps. Preston's a guy who could fit into Thursday. You know, don't know if he'd be able to cover, I think, 32 pitches, something like that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Can you even allow yourself to even think about the possibility that you may have to play on Tuesday or Wednesday the next week and how you use guys this week?
Right. I mean, that's something you have to keep in the back of your mind. But for right now, we've got to win baseball games. That's so important for what we're doing. So, again, Tuesday is an issue, Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever we play. But we're going to do whatever we can to win game one on Thursday. I mean, whatever it takes, and then we'll just let everything else take care of itself.
What's it been like for you this season, having to fill out a different lineup card and changing the orders and trying to get something to work like that almost every single game?
You know, I get that question a lot, and I look at everybody's lineup around the league, the top 25 teams, and everybody's doing that. You know, everybody's looking for the best matchup, and I think the reason that happens is we're in a little bit of the dead ball, dead bat era of college baseball, and everybody's trying to, you know, maneuver. So it's very rare when everybody's keeping everything the same all the time. So, yeah, I mean, it's just something you do. You manage. You're constantly listening to what the players are saying, how they're reacting to certain things in practices, and you put the best night out there you can.
Does the era kind of like force you to coach more maybe than just the same lineup, go out there, get guys you take care of?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly different than Major League Baseball. Yeah. You know, that's funny. When you talk to neighbors and friends, they're always relating what you're doing to the big leagues. And it's kind of like taking, you know, you have a daughter in the 8th grade and comparing her to somebody who's in college. You know, I mean, they're different human beings. They're different stages of development. Our kids are 18 to 22 years old. The guys in the big leagues are 28 to 32 years old. They really are in control of their body a little bit more on a baseball field and have seen a lot more. So it's just different. It's a different style. You know, none of our kids are playing for a contract for next year in terms of multi-year or anything like that. I mean, it's just such a different world. These kids want to win. They want to get to Omaha. And they want to compete as hard as they can. And it's and to make that happen, to go back to your original question, you know, you have to constantly maneuver, you know, to try and make that happen.
John, how's Wes kind of been about sitting, and what's his role in a postseason type situation for you?
Yeah, I think Wes's attitude has just been phenomenal. You know, there's nobody more supportive on the bench when he's not playing. Gosh, I remember Detsy. I can't remember. He had a big home run for us, and he pinch hit for Wes, and Wes was the first guy off the bench to go congratulate him. And Wes is a great leader, and sometimes you don't have to be on the field to be a great leader. You're a great support, you know, and he's just been phenomenal. And I think he's handled everything very well. I think he's a young man that's put a lot of pressure on himself. There's a lot of expectation that he's put on himself and by our fans and everything else. And, you know, I think the home run he hit on Sunday was huge. Might get him going in that direction, a little bit more confidence. And I think defensively he played really well on Sunday. So, you know, I think he could you know, for us, I've said this all along, for us to be as good as we can be down the stretch, he's going to have to be a factor, and he was really a factor on Sunday.
We made such a big deal of Brett Pearl being a cleanup guy last year, but Seth Heck takes it to another level there,
Yeah.
just to exemplify the matchups you're looking for.
Yeah, you know, Seth is not a cleanup guy, but I tell you what, he's really swung the bat well and not had a lot to show for it. He's also a guy who's made 3 errors and, you know, during the course of a very long season, and then he's also a guy who's made 2 errors in 27 conference games, and I say that knowing that anything could happen this weekend, but that guy's been so steady for us in so many different ways. He's also never made a B at Mississippi State after 2 semesters, so he's special, and he's done a lot for us.
When you look at, as I talked about the lineup changes, and then you go to the pitching rotation too, that's been shuffled with injuries and whatnot, what's this year kind of been like for you trying to make everything work with all the kind of hurdles you've kind of...
You know, that's just what we do, and I'm not doing this alone. I feel like I have the best assistants that you could possibly have, Butch Thompson and Coach Mingione and Coach Wells, all of our guys. We're constantly talking, and everybody has a different opinion, and we listen to it, and we try and make the best decisions we can. Sometimes we're wrong, sometimes we're right. I have a ton of respect for people who run organizations when I became a head coach in the Southeastern Conference 11 years ago, because you know, every person who runs any organization, they make good decisions and they make not so good decisions, and you have to live by them and you learn from them. I think that's the key, is you're just constantly trying to learn from the people that you work with.
With all the adjustments and stuff that you've been made, what does it say, I guess, about the team or the organization that you're right there for maybe a first place spot in the division or maybe even in the SEC?
Well, to take it a step further, the fact that we're 6-0 and extra inning, I think it says a lot about our leadership, about the kids that we have. There's no panic. There's no, you know, our kids just keep playing. We're down 3, we keep playing. We have a 3-1 lead, we keep playing. You know, we've had pretty good numbers with having leads in the last, I don't know, whatever it is, 3 or 4 years. But we've also had good numbers being behind and coming from behind, you know, almost unsurmountable, you know, runs behind. Our kids just don't give in. They don't quit. And I think a lot of that has to do with their work habits, the way they were raised, and the unit that they formed together.
Do you like the idea of taking this team on the road? I mean, obviously you go to Alabama this weekend, you go to Hoover, probably go on the road for a regional, but it seems like these kids react to being on the road a little bit better.
They have played well on the road. There's no question. I've really enjoyed the way they've reacted to playing on the road, but they love playing at home too. So, you know, there's something neat about going on the road. You look at it as a challenge. Everything's going against you, but that's for everybody who goes on the road. But I think they've enjoyed it. I think, yeah, our last couple of times on the road, our kids have been successful and played well. So, yeah, you're going to use whatever you got at that moment. And that's one thing we got going for us, is the fact that we have played well on the road recently.
These performances you're giving are so almost expected now. I mean, everybody's shocked when you don't go 9 innings.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep our team in the game each time we go out there, and fortunately, I've been able to do that, so I just want to keep doing that, giving us a chance to win.
What are your thoughts on Lucas? You know, when you move to this rotation, you know, there's obviously going to have to be a second lefty with Jacob to kind of help balance him out a little bit, and it seems like Lucas could be that guy.
Yeah, I've been a believer the whole time. He's my throwing partner, so I was always wanting the best for him, and I kept telling Coach Thompson, I was like, he's ready. He's got his movements, been real good, and he's ready, and you know, he finally got that opportunity, and he did a great job with it. So I've been real proud to see his development and how far he's come, and hopefully he can keep growing, keep going out there and doing a great job for us.
You have a chance to look at Alabama yet?
Oh no, we're gonna look at him tomorrow.
What do you remember about, you know, 2 years ago, that series over there?
I know I gave Mikey White his first ever college home run. I didn't have the best series, but that makes it even more exciting to get out there and try to do a good job against it.
You know, it seems to always happen this way, but this last weekend, you know, you've got 4 teams that think they can win, that know they can win the West if things work out well for them. You have so much to play for. It seems like a real big weekend for everybody, and kind of like set up exactly the way everybody kind of thought.
Yeah, we can just control what we do this weekend. We got to focus on us and focus on trying to get a sweep, and that's what's most important. And putting all that in the past and let that play out how it's going to play out. So we're really excited to see how this weekend's going to go. It is a big weekend, but we got a great series coming up against a great team in Alabama that's got some young talent. So we got to focus on them more than anything. So.
Even bothered trying to look at all the crazy tie breaks and everything. I think this team could finish anywhere from tied for first to alone in ninth.
Yeah, I've looked at it a couple times, but we still can't focus on that because that they could we need to focus on winning 3 games this series. So.
When you look at the expectations kind of at the beginning of the season, how different rotation, different lineups almost every single game, what's the season kind of been like for you guys?
It's been kind of like we've expected over the past years. You never know what's going to happen, and I didn't expect to be a starter, but I've had to embrace that role, and I think we're in a good position. We've won more SEC games, I think, than since Cohen's been here, and we're playing good. We haven't had the early success that we'd have liked, but I think we're in a really good position right here, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
How do you think all the trials and tribulations, whether it's different rotations, different lineups, have maybe grown this team and made it a little bit stronger?
Yeah, everybody. There's a new, I think, Pizza Hut or Domino's commercial where there's we're not afraid to fail, and they're saying our pizza's good because we've failed so many times and we've established something. So it's important to fail. It's important to go through troubles and trials, and I think it always makes a team stronger. So we're excited about that.
We've heard a lot of talk about how the hitters on your team kind of look at a different ballpark and a different wall and a different power alley and go, okay, this will be fun for us. As a pitcher, do you look at those same instances and go, okay, this is what I have to do differently now here than I do at the Dude?
Being more of a ground ball type pitcher, it doesn't really affect me too much. I'm always able to give up that big fly ball, but we just want to, if we can stay in and stay low, then it's hard to get under balls, and if we can do what we're trying to do, it's going to make it real hard on them. So that's all we're really focused on.
Just talk about being that second lefty maybe with Jacob out of the bullpen. It seems to work out really, really well now.
Yeah, I feel like me and Jacob really play well off each other. I like to work with movement in and out, and he has a little more velocity, but he's got just as much as movement, or maybe even more than I do. And me and him, I feel like we really go well together.
Coach Cohen talked about how far you've come. What were some things you had to do to get to where you are right now, from the fall to where you are right now?
Oh man, it's been a long ride. In the fall, we was changing up some things a lot, and it really started in the spring where we was making the adjustments that really paid huge dividends. But in the spring, we started out. I was a kind of submarine pitcher, and he said that's the way I was going to be able to pitch a lot for us this year, is if I could come in submarine, get lefties out, and I wasn't pitching a whole lot, and so I told him, what if I changed up arm angles, throw a couple submarine, couple over the top, maybe they don't know what I'm throwing or when, and I was throwing some bullpens, and my posture changed whenever I throw over the top, so I changed my posture like I was throwing submarine, even when I would throw over the top, and I was able to command the ball better. Had a little more movement, and he wanted me to sit with that.
Were you concerned at all after fall ball? Hey, I'm going to be here come spring.
Yeah, I was. I told them that I really wanted to be here. I felt like this would be the place where I would really grow the most. And with the help of the coaches, Coach Thompson's done a great job with me. And I believe if I wasn't here, I wouldn't be the way I am today.
Kind of adding on to their questions, but you really weren't part of the rotation or even in the bullpen until, I guess, midway through the season, even after SEC play started. How was that for you, just to sit there and just kind of wait your turn?
I really think it was good for me. Everybody wants to throw immediately, but looking back at it, I feel like it was really good for me because it allowed me to make those changes and get comfortable with those changes in order to be able to pitch.
In retrospect, how important was it for you to have some tough batters against Ole Miss? You got into some trouble early, but you got out of it. Like, you hit 6 guys, but you just kept getting out of it. You kept coming back. How big was that as far as for the postseason to be able to experience that and know that you can get out of it?
I believe it was huge. It's you know, you don't really know what to expect when you're hitting guys and all that kind of stuff. And if I was able to get out of it, it would give me a lot more confidence in order to keep going.
You didn't hit him really good. I mean, so what, he worth a while, didn't it?
I guess so.
You feel prepared for a postseason situation where you get the ball and have to get a quality out or two, late in the game, be part of that bullpen bridge?
Yeah, I try to prepare myself mentally as best I can for whatever situation they need me. So whatever role they need me for the day, that's what I try to prepare for that day.
What were your options coming out of junior college, and coming from Washington, being so far away from home? What's it like, being such a distance from home and from your parents and everything? Are they able to keep up with, on Hail State TV? Or
yeah, they watch it on Hail State TV, and when it's on ESPNU and ESPN3 and stuff like that. And they came out here for a couple weekends, but the real neat thing is about our fans is just they're always out here supporting them, and they know the guys that are farther away from home and don't have as much family, in the area, that they give that extra support to you. So.
You guys, as hitters, kind of look at a different wall, different power alley when you go on the road and think, okay, this could be good for us. This could be fun.
Yeah, it's the last 2 weekends we've been really, really good offensively on the road, and I don't know if that's just luck or coincidence or how it is, but obviously we struggled a little offensively this past weekend, but we're pretty confident going in that we're going to be able to start getting hits to fall. So.
Do you guys talk about, it's pretty evident that you're going to have to go on the road for a regional, but it seems like offensively you found ways to hit away from Deere Noble Field a little bit easier and make it a little bit easier on your pitchers. That could actually work out well for you guys, especially when you go to Hoover and you go to a regional.
Yeah, and I think that's why we schedule places like going out and playing Arizona and stuff, so we get comfortable playing on the road and that we can do it. And, obviously we'd love to play in front of the crowd here, but we're confident that we can go on the road and be successful.
Saw the GPA reports today. What, the 4.0?
Yep, yes sir.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, that's I know it's something I'm capable of doing. And obviously I've now in my third year of college and dealing with baseball in school, I kind of have the whole time management thing down and kind of know how much work I need to put in both for baseball and school, and that's worked out. So.
What class was your closest call to ruining that 4.0 this spring?
My closest class, what would that be? Probably Spanish. Really? Surprisingly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'd probably say Spanish.
Obviously your first year here hasn't been the smoothest ride for the team as a whole. How was your first year being kind of, high expectations, everyone expecting maybe another return trip to Omaha, and then the trials and tribulations? What have you kind of maybe learned from the experience?
Yeah, definitely there's been some weekends that have been tough, and there's been some lights out, really, really good weekends, and I think that makes us a better ball club coming into the SEC tournament and the regionals, and for me it's just been good to learn, when you're struggling, what's going wrong, what needs to be fixed, what kind of work do we need to put in during that week of practice, and then when things are going well, the feeling of having success and both offensively and defensively and as a team, what it kind of feels like.
Well, as a position player, what's it like to maybe go to the dugout every day and not know whether you're batting first or fourth or fifth or whatever it may be?
Yeah, I've been all over the order this year, and and each day when you look at the lineup, you see where you're at, whether it's first or fourth or fifth. You got to just kind of take on that role, and whether it's being a run producer or a run scorer, you just kind of have to take on that role today.
How does your mindset change when the lineup's going to be changed every day?
I think wherever you are in the order, you're still just trying to put quality at bats together, and if you can do that, it doesn't matter where in the order, you're going to have a lot of success. But there are some different mentalities that go into hitting leadoff, and trying to be the table setter, and then, when I'm hitting fourth or fifth, I'm going to get up 3, maybe 4 times a game with runners in scoring position where it's a key situation. And I think I've had enough at-bats at both spots in the order that I'm comfortable with either situation.
Do you enjoy one or the other? Is there a preference maybe?
No, I've hit kind of all over the lineup, throughout my college and high school career. So I don't really have a preference either.
We gave Brett Ford a lot of grief last year about being the most unusual cleanup batter in SEC, but you probably surpassed him in that.
Yeah, definitely. But like I was saying, I think Coach Cohn looks at it as if you can get a guy that can put quality at bats together with an runners in scoring position, that you're going to have a lot of success and score a lot of runs.
Of course, the